And indeed, it is a good afternoon to one and all. Welcome, welcome, welcome again to the Virago Warrior Women's series. I am Dexter Springer, your host for the afternoon, a library assistant, one attached to the Arima Public Library of the Nalles Public Libraries Division. As we know, this month we are celebrating our author of the month. She is Mrs. Michelle Borrell, and she has just or is about to release the awesome book Virago Warrior Woman, the Butterfly Edition. And of course, as I've been saying before, this book will be launching on the 21st at Trinity Mall, and then it will be releasing for sale 100% on the 25th of November. So thus far, today is day 8. Oh, I don't have 6 fingers. Day 8 of the Virago Warrior Woman series, and we have another Virago with us today that we are going to get to meet and hear from this awesome young lady. I've been looking forward to this day for the past few days. Each day has been phenomenal, and for those, of course, who will be wondering again, as I've been saying, everybody's been asking, what is Virago? What is Virago? Well, the meaning of the word Virago is a woman of great stature, strength, and courage. And in the book, Virago Warrior Woman, the Butterfly series, these women share their experiences and their lessons, encouraging all who would read it to stand in the authenticity and awaken their inner warrior. And this will give you the courage to go on. You can find out more about Virago, the Warrior Woman, on Instagram and Facebook at Virago_global. That's Virago. That is VIRAGO_global. Lovely. So,
Dexter, you're pro, man.
I try a thing as you say. Good afternoon, Diane. Good to have you as usual. All right, so, ladies and gentlemen, our Virago this evening is a true polymath. This Renaissance woman has successful careers in art and aviation, as well as a legitimate claim to the titles entrepreneur, philanthropist, travel pro, holistic health, wellness, and beauty guru, and also a carnival icon. Her passions for art and aviation developed simultaneously. As a pilot's daughter, Shannon developed a love for flying, and as she traveled and experienced new cultures, her natural talent in the arts were nurtured. At 20 years old, she became a fully certified commercial pilot. Shannon studied fine arts at OCAD University and went on to earn her BFA in Italy. She followed that with a master's painting course, from modern master Peter Doig, hope I said that correct, and considers the experience a fulfilling turning point in her artistic career. Her preference is for oils, and she loves to experiment with technique, often making her own paints from raw pigments and incorporating copper, dust, or aviation maps into her work. This is awesome. Her glossy seascapes are heavily influenced by her career as a pilot. Shannon's art won multiple awards, twice receiving the Canadian National Millennium Excellence Award for Innovation. She has shown in over 50 group exhibitions, held solo shows in Trinidad, Canada, and Italy, and has work hangs in private and corporate collections throughout the world. Ladies and gentlemen, and everyone in the view of my face and under the sound of my voice, I present to you this evening Virago Shannon Hutchinson. A pleasant good afternoon to you, Shannon. Welcome.
Dexter, thank you so much for that wonderful hype and amazing introduction.
It is a privilege.
Thank you so much.
You are most welcome.
It's very easy for me to forget the very many things that I've done. So I appreciate you so much.
That's cool. It speaks to your humility as well. You know, you made your achievements and you're proud of them, and then you're on to the next one. Right? Yeah. That's so good. So Shannon, let's get into it. Tell us firstly, about your journey. In terms of your a young woman pursuing your dream career of being a pilot. What was that journey like for you? A young woman, you know, at 20 years, you became a commercial pilot. Tell us how that went.
Yeah. Well, I got my private license when I was 17. Actually, I was a baby pilot, and then
Oh,
I was actually much younger. I got my commercial my in Trinidad when I was 20. But
mhm.
my journey was filled with a lot of no's and don't do that, and
Really?
girls don't become pilots, and a lot of, you really want to do that, and so it's actually what I talk quite a bit about in the chapter that I've written for the book.
Okay.
My journey being filled with don't do that and whatever, and I I was an only child. I grew up in Cuba, and I had the resilience and the fortitude that I don't think many other kids my age possessed. And of course, I didn't know that at the time because I was an only child,
Yeah, right, right. Mm.
and all I really ever focused on doing was doing things that I loved and things that I was good at.
Mm.
And of course, I was a very lovely, polite little girl, and I would always listen. And when my parents or my aunties or whatever would say, "You probably don't want to be a pilot," and or well, if you do art, maybe you can get into architecture or design or
So
something that'll.
was there no one that readily agreed with you going into being a pilot? Is there anyone that said, "Yes, Shannon, you might be the first female pilot"? Was there anyone that said that?
No, but I'll
Wow.
give but I have a lot of support. I have a lot of support. My parents are very supportive,
Right.
but I was not given that initially. So I'll tell you, like, I started showing my work when I was very young. I was 14 when I was discovered. I've
Mm-hmm.
been painting and drawing my whole life, and I started showing when I was 14, and
Mm-hmm.
then I would show every year. And when I was in high school, of course, that's what I was known to do. I didn't do the typical teenage things and or go out and party and lie.
Right,
I mean,
right,
I did a
right.
little bit, but not really.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, I won all of these amazing scholarships and different things to study art abroad. And
Mm-hmm.
then when I was 17 and I was about to go off to university, I went to my guidance counselor and I said, I think I want to be a pilot. In fact, I know I want to be a pilot.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, Shannon, artists don't become pilots.
Wow. Okay then.
But off I went to Canada
Mm-hmm.
to flight school to become the artist that became a pilot. And I've led two very successful careers in both fields
Mm-hmm.
ever since, and the rest is history. I but saying all of that, and then when I was in art school, I went to flight school first, and then 9/11 happened, and there weren't any jobs, so I came back to Trinidad, and then I immediately went back to Canada to study art at OCAD University, which is a special university for art only.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay, okay, okay. All right.
my parents, again, being like, all the advice I ever got was out of love and, like, the best intentions. They're like, why don't you get into design, you make more money, da, da, da. But being the strong, girl that I was like, but I don't want to be told what to paint.
Yeah. So,
So I majored in drawing and painting.
okay.
Um, and all along the way, I was very I just did what I felt was best for me and did what I loved.
Right.
And
That's important. That's important.
and I was defiant, but in a way that was always positive. Like, at no stage in my life, even as a teenager, did I ever want to do something that would be detrimental to myself or my future.
Mm-hmm.
I was that teenager. Like, I was, so when I say I was defiant, it was always just because I was busy doing something that I loved and enjoyed.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, my journey was filled with a lot of no's, but I didn't lack support, if that makes sense at all.
Right.
Because my
Because
parents are proud of me and they
what
love me and they love what I've done, you know, and they're very proud of what I've done. So
what was it that's initial reaction when you told him that, or when he recognized that you were following in his steps of becoming a pilot? What was
my
his initial?
dad, he's like, "You sure you want to fly? You sure, really? It's
Right.
not like it used to be." Because years ago, when my dad would fly, you'd go away for 10 days at a time and you'd go to Geneva, da, da, da. And I mean, you know, and flying now is like I go somewhere, you put your head on the pillow and then you lift it back up and you're gone again, right? It's a little
Right.
different.
Mm-hmm.
Flying's a little different now, and of course I'm not flying right now. I was laid off a few months ago, right?
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay. Okay.
It's a volatile, yeah. The industry's volatile like that, and
Wow.
all of those things. It's like you're sure you want to fly because, you know.
Yeah, list
Um,
out all the reasons why you probably would want to reconsider. Yeah.
yeah. But
Well,
life is like that, and you have to. Again, as I say in my chapter, I talk about, you know, you have to live a life that you love, because everyone's going to give you advice and a lot of it's really well intentioned and they want you to live a nice easy life,
mm,
but that doesn't always translate into living an amazing life. And that's what
right.
I wanted. I wanted an amazing life. I didn't want, yes, you know, you could smash the easy button and you could just, you know, but I wanted to do the things that I loved.
Right.
And I'm so lucky to have cultivated a life that is full of all of the things that I love. I have my
Mhm.
art, I've been writing, and I'm traveling and all of this.
Right.
And I'm very, very lucky, you know, when I was laid off very recently from Caribbean Airlines, and I'm so lucky that I had my art show that I was working on that happened like a month after, and it says my
Ah, you see,
husband.
Ed's coming in. You're his hero. Right. So good afternoon to you, Ed. All right. And that's you in the photo with him there, right?
Yeah, that's the two of
Nice,
us. Yeah,
nice. Okay, good. Yeah.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you have to live a life. You have to be brave and you have to be different. I was different. I was always different as a little girl,
Mm-hmm.
and to be different requires bravery.
Mm-hmm.
And I was always brave. I was always brave in the face of people saying no, or oh gosh, she had come into line. She busy painting. She had some
Oh,
show.
oh.
When I was younger, you know, because when I was in high school, I was bullied for it. You know.
But even as you just mentioned that again, because you said it earlier, you know that you wouldn't do the typical teenage things and things like that, and you were always different as a child.
Mm-hmm.
What helped you? What helped you? You know, keep your focus? Is it that you just had that natural discipline, or you know, what helped you to stay focused in the midst of all that was going on around you?
I I was lucky again to find something that I liked very young, and you know, to paint the picture. Like I grew up in Cuba where there was one TV station back then, no phone, no internet, and you know I would entertain myself by playing with like a geese or rabbit. So I could grow up on a flower farm, right?
All right,
And
all
I was
right.
again, I was only child, so I didn't have, you know, brothers and sisters to play with. So I would draw and paint a lot, and that's just what I did. And so as I got older, like I continued, you know, doing the things that I love, which was that. And when I was in high school, I again I was discovered, and my friends didn't understand, and they didn't really appreciate, you know, like I was getting a lot of recognition back then, and
Mhm.
the other kids were just being normal kids, you know, and which is
Yeah,
fine too. But
you
I
were just
always knew that, look, they can, you know, I never really took on bullying or people just saying, oh, is she different or whatever,
mm,
because I am. And you need to be strong, to be able to just say, you know what, like this is my life and I'm on my own journey and not everybody needs to understand it, you
yeah,
know.
yeah, and
Yeah.
that's important. You see, and I love the fact that you had your, you know, you had your confidence. It reminds me of when Michelle said when she was in school and they used to make fun of her because at that time she had the little buck teeth and the pot belly. And
Yeah.
you know, her granddad told her to laugh at them or laugh with them. And after a while they realized, yeah, we can't get in Michelle head.
We're not
You know, so
praising her. Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
so you always had that confidence even from young, and that is a highly admirable thing. Um,
Yeah.
you know, now going and cross over a little bit here into something in terms of you as a young woman, and you mentioned it, you said it, and you made it very clear that your life was filled with a lot of no's. And we're not talking about this nose or this nose, but like no, no for everything. You
Oh,
can't be a pilot, you can't this, you can't that. And you know, as I mentioned to you earlier, even before we came onto the live, I was looking at the interview with you and the ladies. So for See Her,
yeah.
and there was a statement that you made that stood out to me when Miss Wickham asked you if how a woman seen, and you said you believe women are seen but not accepted.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I want to hear your thoughts on that in terms of, you know, if you unpack it a little bit, tell us, you know, the basis of that. What makes it feel like that? You know, that women are seen, yes, but not accepted and supported, I believe is what you said. Yeah.
I think we've gotten to a really lovely stage where women can be anything they want to be,
Mm-hmm.
but we're not always accepted. You know, people will look at me and say, "Oh yeah, she's a pilot, all right," you know, or, or you
Okay.
know, they may not necessarily like it. Like I still, when I was flying, I would still every day I went to the airport, I would get some sexist remark, you know,
Oh.
and
Mm-hmm.
and that's okay. Like I think that you really I'm not into like getting offended. Like you have to have a good sense of humor about yourself, especially
Yeah.
when you're different.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm different in all aspects in my life.
And you embrace that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, I have to be happy with myself. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
nobody else needs to be happy with what I'm
Mhm.
doing. They can mind the business.
But is it difficult? Because I mean, not everyone would have that level of confidence to be able to embrace their uniqueness and who they are. Some people
Yeah.
actually the bullying will get to them. I know for
Yeah.
me, in my childhood days, it got to me. I didn't understand how to be like you or Michelle or anybody who would know to stand up to those who would bully you and stuff like that. But how difficult is it in the midst of it, in the midst of, you know, women, as you mentioned, because I mean, I really taking that interview, you know, women being looked at as, you know what, she can't do that, how you could play football, how you could do a construction, you're a woman.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, where does one draw the strength from to stand firm in the midst of things like that?
Well, I don't stand up to bullies. I just ignore them. Like I just
Okay, cool.
ignore the naysayers. Like I just don't hear it. I have, and it's funny because I have a line in my chapter that said I said, you know, and at that stage I had already developed a really great talent and selective hearing. Like I
Hearing, yeah,
remember
yeah, 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 yeah. A lot of people have that talent
like I
or
just
want to
want to
learn
hear
it.
it because look, I'm enjoying my life. I got to fly. I waited many years for my dream job. I got to share my artwork with people. I got to travel, and I mean, even my adventure travel is very different. People are like, that's not a holiday. You went to stress yourself out to climb some mountain,
Wow.
you know. And I'm just busy doing my thing, and
Sorry about that.
I that's all right. And then to again, part of the reason that I ended up writing the chapter that I did is like I dedicated the chapter to my younger self and for those trying to find their way,
Right.
because I
Yeah.
wish that I had my little short checklist for life, because if I did, it would make it easier for me to have had the confidence then that I do now, because I'm 38. I have all the confidence in the
Okay.
world
Okay.
because
Yeah.
I've had many years of successes and many years of failures, and
Right.
you have to embrace all of that because it's all part of
Mm-hmm.
the journey, and all of those things make you a better person and the
Mm-hmm.
person that you are, you know. But I
Yeah.
think that when you're young and you're still becoming, that you don't know, and you don't know what you don't know, and you don't know what you haven't experienced yet. And but the important thing is that you keep moving towards that thing that it is that you want.
Right. What's the most positive thing that anyone would have ever said to you? And was there anybody, because there has been so many no's. There were so many no's in your life. So many, you can't do that. Why you do? Even you're going on an adventure trip and people telling you you're going to stress yourself out. What is? Was there anybody who would say, "Go ahead, Shannon, go study them"? You know, was there anybody that would feed positive things into your life at that point in time when they saw that something is different about Shannon? Was there anybody encouraging Shannon at that point in time, and even up to this day?
Yeah, I think I have some really amazing friends. Like, I have a friend of mine that I'm meeting later, actually, that I climbed Kilimanjaro with, and she's just one
Wow.
woman like me, and she's a pilot as well, actually.
Okay.
And my parents are supportive, but they know that when I decide to do something, I'm gonna do it. So then they're like, okay, be safe. You know, like when I was going, when I booked my Everest base camp trek, and they're like, no, this is dangerous. And I said, well, okay, well, I'm going. They're like, well, okay, we'll be safe. And then like my dad like organized. He's like, okay, we'll go to the doctor, and you can maybe take a little medical kit with you, and like, so they're very kind and helpful and supportive, because they know that I'm not, like, at this stage, my selective hearing is really, really good with the.
I need to learn that skill. I am in the process of learning that skill. So you could probably give me a little crash course.
The most gracious thing you can do with someone that's bullying you or trying to tell you no is to simply not take it on.
Not take it on. Okay. Water and or as my wife said the other day, water and fig leaf. Right?
Yeah.
Water
Don't
and the
take
fig
it
leaf.
on. I'm sure there must be some kaiso out there about don't take it on.
Yes, sweet. Shannon, so all right, well, I'm looking at some of the comments here. We see in Lori. Lori is here again. Good afternoon, Lori. She said, isn't she so inspirational and amazing woman? All these women are amazing. Well, Shannon is phenomenal. All right, we have also Janelle Fields just said one word. Inspiring. Inspiring. And listen, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to find out how, just talk to Shannon about selective hearing. It works well for anybody. So, Sharon, I'm going to ask you a trick question. I don't know if anybody ever asked you this question before. I was going to ask it in the end, but I'm going to ask it now based on what we think. Right? You ready for this question?
Yeah, let's do it.
Shannon, if ever anybody gave you an ultimatum and said, Shannon, you either have to choose art or being a pilot, which one will you choose? The red pill
never been
or the blue pill?
Red
pill, you get to be an artist for the rest of your life. Blue pill, you could be a pilot but forget all about art. Which one?
Okay, all right. If I had to pick, I would choose art.
Wow.
Because if I couldn't be a pilot, I could still travel.
Yes.
But it would be so hard though, because I did have did have periods and years where I didn't fly, and I missed it.
Right.
There's nothing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'd probably say art. Yeah.
Is there? Do you see that there's a way we'll get back into it soon? Because you mentioned earlier that you were laid off, unfortunately.
Yes, I was laid off, and yeah, I will be flying, and in the next few months I'll be back in the air.
Are there many female pilots? Are there many female?
No, I am one of 6% of women who can fly big planes. Yeah.
Wow. This is no. I always like to see. Honestly speaking, I always like to see women drive big trucks, maxis, and buses and stuff like that. But this is the first time I came across a lady flying a plane. So that must be interesting.
There are quite a lot of us. But yeah, we only make up 6% of the industry.
Wow,
this is airline pilots. Yeah,
this is an interesting fact. So people write this down. Only 6% of the piloting industry are women. Correct?
That's right. Yeah. And I believe female captains, it's only 2% or even less, maybe worldwide.
My
Yeah,
worldwide too. Worldwide.
worldwide, yeah.
Wow, this is interesting. This is interesting stuff. You heard it here first on the Nallis platform here with Virago Woman, Warrior Woman series. So Shannon, now we saw in your in the introduction that I gave, we saw that a lot of your art is influenced by, well, your flying and the
Mhm.
seascapes and probably vast landscapes and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
many times a lot of people talk about their emotional expression through their art. So is that the same with you? Is it that you express yourself through your art, or is it just you seascapes and it's like that one just touching and say, hey, I remember this, and you paint it and it becomes art? Or is there a lot of emotion that comes? So can we see who Shannon is through her art?
I think so. Yeah, yeah. Painting is definitely an escape, and you know when you get into a zone and you like I find this like when I'm painting, I'll be listening to music, let's say,
Mhm.
and you're so in it that you stop hearing the music. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
yes, I
It's like
understand
that for
very
me.
well.
Like it's an escape, and I find my seascapes and landscapes are very tranquil and
Mhm,
calm,
mhm.
and yeah, I guess that is a part of
So
me. I
it's it's
can
it's it's
tranquil
it's
and
it's, it's soothing. It's a bit soothing for you.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Which
Oh,
mm-hmm,
also,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I'm the artist for the cover of our book.
Yes, well, we
And
will come into that.
I
Yes.
have the original right here next to me.
Or the piece that can we see? Ooh. So this was the first time that it actually did the concept of what would be the book cover for Virago.
Yeah, this is it.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
What
yeah.
what what
This is
in- what
it.
what inspired it? What inspired it? Did you need to ask Michelle, well, what you're looking for, or did you sit and think, okay, what can we,
I knew I wanted to use the color
Mhm,
lilac that we had discussed, and I thought of a butterfly wing. And to be honest, Misha had approached me about doing the cover quite a while ago,
mhm,
and I can't remember if she had mentioned to me a butterfly wing or not, but I
mhm.
felt that's just what came to me to do. And I used quite a bit of black in it that makes it feel more strong, because when you think of a butterfly wing, you think of something very delicate and fragile,
Yes,
right? And yes,
yes,
yes, we women can be delicate and fragile, but we're also strong. So I
strong.
wanted to use strong colors and contrast in it as well. So I
Right.
think it came out really nicely, and you'll see it on both sides of the book. So when you look at the back,
It's a full
it's the
butterfly.
opposite. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
oh,
yeah,
oh,
yeah.
okay. All right. So is it that the your artwork sort of influenced the name of the book? Is it in it being called the Butterfly Edition? Is it that, or
I think so, but I would have to ask Michelle. But I probably because that came after the painting.
okay,
So
okay.
perhaps,
This is
yeah, I'm
this
pretty
is
sure it is. Yeah.
all right. So in terms of, no, you mentioned it earlier, but in terms of your chapter in the book, you know, what was the process like for you to write it? Is it as easy to write as it is to paint? There's the same canvas but
Oh,
a different form
yeah,
of.
yeah, so right. Well, yeah, it's similar but different because it's a blank canvas and you kind of do anything. And I was given carte blanche pretty much, except for it needs to be within a certain number of pages.
Right.
And I just thought, wow. And then I have done so many different things in my life that it is very difficult to like.
Yeah.
I was like, well, what do I write about? Do I write about a tragedy in my life, or difficult?
Mhm.
Do I write about flying? Do I write about my travel adventures? Which I have a million of those stories that are all inspiring.
Mhm.
And I thought, you know something, I want to talk about creating a life for yourself that is full of passion and joy, that
Mhm.
is amazing, and cultivating an amazing life. And what
Yeah.
better way to do that? And what better way for a pilot to write a chapter about that than to create a checklist?
Yeah. 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 So awesome. All right. So we look forward to that. I want to ask you one question pertaining to your art again, and that is, what is your most treasured piece of creation? What was that piece of creation that you love the most? You know, that you're most proud of when you look at it. You say, "I remember when I painted that," and that. That's the one you have hung up on your wall. That it on your screensaver on your phone.
I have two recently, and one of them actually is the cover because it's very special. Like it's a
Right.
special piece as
Yeah.
us to do, and it's really like this whole the book and the project and this amazing collective
Yeah. I
of
think I expected
really
that. Yeah. Yeah.
inspiring women.
Mhm.
It's very special to me. And the other one would be one that I did recently of the Carony, and in my latest exhibition, which was a few months ago in September. And it was so beautiful that I animated it and I
Mhm.
created an NFT out of it, a non-fungible token, and
Yes.
it's a crypto asset
Right.
basically. And
Right.
it was cool because I'm the first artist, I think regionally, that showed or exhibited a show of physical work while also offering the NFT and crypto option, or crypto asset option alongside the physical work. So it's really, really cool, just very
Okay.
different.
This
So
is also, so is it the in terms of the NFTs or the non-fungible tokens, you do the artwork physically and then it's something that could be converted into an NFT?
yeah, well, so what's kind of as we're on the theme of being different, what's different with my NFTs is most NFTs is a non-fungible token, or for those who don't know, it's a digital asset that you can
Mhm.
buy. And a lot of these NFT artists create their graphics, and they're one of 1,000 or million, like not millions, but one of thousands that you can buy, right? Well, the
Mhm.
difference with mine is that my NFT is um, starts as an original painting,
Mhm.
and what I did was I animated my painting so it looks like the Carney water is moving.
Ooh,
It's like
okay.
it's breathing almost.
All right.
And my NFTs are one of ones. When you have one, that's it. There's no more. That's the one that you have, and
Oh,
that's
so
it. It's not
no such thing as
500,000
multiple
people that.
copies. No, no, no. No, okay.
No, that's it. That's it. So, and that's what makes it special as well. So,
Wow. You think
yeah, yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
think you will do the cover of Virago in an NFT?
That actually is a really good idea. You
Yeah,
know, I didn't
why
think
not? You
about
know,
that.
try to do it in an NFT, and I
I'm
probably might
gonna
try to
work
get
on
it
that over the next
before
couple
anybody
days.
else.
You'll hear before you're done all of our interviews. I'll send it to you. I'll do one.
Lovely. Thank you
That's
so
a
much
really
for
good
that.
idea. Thanks for
Yeah,
that,
well, like I
Dexter.
said, it just came to me. I said that will look really good digitally. It will look really awesome
Yeah,
digitally.
yeah.
You know, so of course, Shannon, you know, the last thing I would ask you to do, I know there are two sets of people you would want to thank. I want to find out from you, and you'll share with us, you know, who you would personally want to thank for being with you throughout your entire journey from ever since, and even throughout the writing of the book. And also, you know, I know you'll want to acknowledge the sponsors as well for Virago. So take it.
Yeah, we are so honored to have these amazing sponsors. We have Kentucky, KFC, Extra Foods, Medical Associates Hospital, Trin City Mall, Nexus Advertising, and GMGT Live, which is a radio station in New York City. And I
Mhm.
want to thank each and every one of them for their amazing support for this, because none of this would really happen well, of course, without the amazing women and Michelle Borel, who spearheaded this project, but without their help. And I would like to thank my husband and my parents because they've
Lovely.
been amazing.
Well, I know they are all very proud, and Shannon, we are so very appreciative of you taking the time to be here to share with us. You know, and I mean, only as we say in local terms, Shannon real cool, Shannon
Yeah.
real cool. Right? So,
Yeah,
guys,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
you will
It's
see.
funny. People
Go ahead,
see
Shannon.
pictures and things, and people don't really know. Well, yeah, a lot of people know me, but people don't like know me.
You
It's
get
only
to
when I
know.
get on and I start to chat, like on an interview or whatever, that you get to see.
Yeah, you know the real Shannon. You know the pictures don't do justice all the time. They could tell half the story, but you had to get the whole story. You know when we talk to you directly. And if you even want to know more of the story, get the book.
You gotta get the book, guys. My chapter is full of amazing stories about my flying. I talk about my being retrenched. I
Mm,
talk about my travel adventures. You get a little tea from my ex
yes.
about my
I want to know
ex-husband.
how that Kilimanjaro and that Everest climb went from you. I
It
want
was it was amazing, life-changing experiences. I talk
wow,
about how I got frostbite when I was climbing, when I was on my summit hike. It was amazing.
my
That's
goodness.
pretty cool. You gotta get the book. You gotta read the chapter.
My people. On the 21st of November, go to the launch in Trinity Mall. It begins at 5 p.m. until 6:30 p.m. There will be a select few copies that will be on sale on that day. But the actual release for all sales is on the 25th of November. So you don't want to miss it. You're going to see Shannon's story and you're going to see so many other stories in that book. I am certain your life will not be the same after you read this book based on what we have been hearing so far. And I am going to wait for a queue as to if I can drop the price of the book. If I can't, you will just have to wait. But as I said, prepare your pockets and it's not going to hurt much. Prepare your pockets to get your own personal copy of Virago Warrior Woman, the Butterfly series. Also, must mention that the book will also be launched in New York on the 9th of December, and it will also be launching in Miami on the 14th of December. Also, we're looking forward for the Phoenix edition. That's right, that's in Barbados. So Barbados has the Phoenix edition of Virago Woman, Warrior Woman, the Butterfly edition. People, this has been a treasure and a pleasure, Shannon. We thank you on behalf of Nallis, on behalf of all my supervisors and colleagues and patrons and all who are watching. Daniel, Leanne, Diane, Janelle, everybody, we want to say thank you. And even I'm
Thank
certain
you.
Miss Batiste and all of these people who will be looking on right now. We are saying thank you so much, Shannon, for speaking with us this afternoon. And only for let's see Shannon anyway. Say, hey, I saw you on the interview and that's a
Yeah,
lie.
come
Shannon.
and say hi. Come and say
All
hi to
right.
see me. Dexter, thank you so much. It's been such a pleasure. Thank you
Same
for
here. You're
having
most
me.
welcome. You're most welcome.
Thank
We
you.
could do it again. We could do it again.
100%. Yeah, you know I'm a big talker, so
Yeah, yeah. So, guys, this is day 8. We're looking forward to tomorrow. Please go out where we are going to meet. I'm not going to tell you. You're going to come tomorrow. Please go out and see for yourself. We meet another Virago woman. So, until then, stay safe, keep your devices charged, and have a good afternoon. Take good care.
have a great day.